Have you noticed that every time you react to a narcissist, you seem to lose? They force you to do things their way, but then change the agreement last minute. They keep you waiting for answers. They explode, and when you defend yourself, you're met with cold contempt. You're left confused, angry, frustrated. But this is not miscommunication, it's psychological warfare. You left to get away from this, but here's the kicker. It doesn't stop when you leave. In fact, separation is when they go full volume. But there is one insight that can switch this dynamic around. It's when you stop reacting and start acting instead. I'm Emma, a medical doctor and a survivor of narcissistic abuse. Let me show you the mindset shift that you need to break free, not just emotionally, but legally and practically. Stay tuned till the end, because I will share with you the one weapon that they will pull out when they feel you slipping away and how to dodge it. Let's get into it. Narcissists feed on your reaction. In a healthy relationship, the other party care about how you feel, and if there is an issue, they want to resolve it. That's not the case in a toxic relationship, especially if you're in a relationship with a narcissist. Their aim is not to resolve anything. In fact, it's to keep you confused and off balance. They bait you, you react. They stay calm, you look chaotic. They create chaos and then blame you. If they can keep you engaged in this play and emotionally activated, they feel powerful. This isn't just toxic, it's strategic abuse. Here's the turning point, when you stop waiting for their next move and you make yours. You stop justifying, explaining, engaging, hoping that they will be reasonable, and instead you start acting like the adult in the room. Not cold and not cruel, just clear. When I was going through my separation process, things got ugly, they escalated. And that's a common experience. Usually, when the narcissistic relationship ends, the narcissist tries to drag the end out. Negotiating visitations and splitting assets become expensive, draining, and time-consuming, and eventually you lose the fighting will. Because trying to reason with a narcissist is like trying to mop up a storm. You agree, and then they change their mind the next day. They stir drama, shift the terms, and try to provoke you. But here's what shifted everything for me. As long as he was the one that was acting and I was the one that was reacting, he had the power. That's the game that he's used to playing, and he knows my reactions very well. So I shifted that dynamic. I became the one who acted first, who made the moves, who got lawyers, who served him papers, and who gave him an offer with a deadline when it expired. I made my moves and I moved on with my life. I stopped answering any personal questions. I stopped informing him about my feelings or my reasons. I put down firm boundaries without defending them. And yes, he panicked when I did that. I had to take measures to keep myself and my kids safe. But I think he would have escalated to that point eventually, even if I had not done this. The difference would just have been that he would then have had the assets when he came after me. Instead, I managed to get back the keys to the apartment, and I sold that apartment, and I used the money to relocate and to keep myself and my kids safe. That's what happens when you stop reacting and start acting, with support, with knowledge, and with courage. But here's something you need to know. You can't act like this if you're still emotionally entangled. To make clear, grounded decisions, you first need space, mental and emotional. That means detaching from the narcissist. And the fastest, most effective way to do that, no contact. Or if that's not possible, low contact with firm boundaries. All communication in writing, through email or an artificial platform. No phone calls, no in-person talks to sort things out. If it's a practical matter, like finances or custody, use a third party when you can. And when they send messages, you don't need to respond right away. Even if they flood your inbox. Even if they demand an answer tonight at 8 p.m., like my ex-husband used to do. Here's your answer. No response. Not until you feel calm. They don't get to set your tempo anymore. In Sweden, the legal standard for responding to an issue is 3 weeks. So take your time, breathe, reflect. Craft a response that reflects your clarity, not their chaos. And if you're struggling to find the right words, ask for help. A friend who understands the dynamic. Or even an AI tool like ChatGPT, yes really, can help you write a calm, non-attached reply. Because this isn't just about boundaries, it's about strategy, safety, and sanity. Narcissists don't do well in the defensive position. When they have to react to your decisions, they do panic. I think you have seen this during the relationship. They don't handle news or changes very well. And while in the relationship, you are there to buffer them and to soothe them and to tell them that everything is going to be fine. But they don't have you anymore. And now they're on your own. And when you start to make decisions, they find that very confusing and frightening. Fighting, that is what they know. And you're reacting, that is what they know very well and that they can handle. But you moving forward and being firm and not engaging, that is new. I will give you some pointers as to how it may look like, but you should also seek legal advice for your specific situation. Acting instead of reacting may look like you show up prepared, not emotional. You offer terms with deadlines. You decline circular conversations. You don't respond to provocations. You keep your next move private. You stop waiting for their reaction to determine your direction. This isn't manipulation. It's maturity and it's strategy. And narcissists don't know how to handle that because they can't play the adult game. You know what this reminds me of? Browser in Super Mario. No, you know the turtle with the spikes on his back? He's kind of scary and smug and he moves slowly. But if he's slipped on his back, then he's completely helpless and he can't do anything. All those spikes and snarls don't matter if he can't get to your feet. That's what happens when you stop reacting and start acting. He will be the one spinning. And you don't even have to stomp on him. Just one well-placed legal document. Now here's the trap. Escalation. When they realize you're no longer playing their game, they may panic. They might love bomb you, threaten you, contact you incessantly even though you have told them no, cry, accuse you, play the victim, try to scare you. Their goal is simple. They want you back on the dance floor. They want you reacting. They want you to play their game again. Don't. This is when it gets especially important that you stay firm and calm. Stay safe. Don't meet them alone. Plan your legal steps with your lawyer and surround yourself with any support that you can get. Be especially careful with accidental delays and miscommunications, shifting terms and broken agreements. requests for personal information under guise of co-parenting, emotional tactics disguised as logic, guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or just one-talk invitations, threats veiled as concerns. You're not here to win them over. You don't have to explain yourself to them one more time. And you're no longer responsible for their emotions. You are stepping away and you're beginning to live your life. And you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to let your lawyer handle the negotiations. You're allowed to live your life, to work and to move on, and to keep yourself safe. If you're in the process of separation right now and is having difficulty with your ex or soon-to-be ex contacting you, watch this video about the difference between stalking and hoovering. I think that will be helpful. See you in the next video. You got this.